let's just go over her skills first, because she's kind of like a little bit of her own and a little bit of hodgepodge between a lot of other characters. She's got a little bit of Cyclops, or not Cyclops, Colossus to her, a little bit of Jean Grey, a little bit of Scarlet Witch, and a little bit of herself. So, I'll do my usual. I'll start from right to left. And on the right side here, these are all skills you gain by level. You start with, let me just get rid of that, a point in Psychic Blast, a point in Psychic Domination, and a point in Psybolt. And that's her starting abilities. And then right away at level 2 you're going to get this Gleaming Strike. And this is pretty good. It puts a vulnerability on the mob, which they take extra damage. Not a lot of extra damage, but, you know, it's a little bit. I'm not sure why they did it, but basically, if you're grouping low level, this will definitely help out the group. And, of course, you gain something called Diamond Armor. Diamond Armor is kind of like Colossus's Osmium skin, or Osmium Armor. But it works a little bit differently, and I have a feeling this is what Colossus is going to turn into. This is why I keep saying she's a lot like Colossus. On her, for Emma, Diamond Armor reduces 50% of incoming damage while in Diamond form. Maximum Diamond Armor is increased based on maximum health and ranks in Diamond powers. So, right off the bat, you start off with a lot of Diamond Armor, 906. And basically, for every point of damage that gets absorbed in this way, just like all the other shields, you lose Diamond Armor. So if you have 906 and you get hit for 500, you mitigate 250, you'd lose 250 Diamond Armor. So gaining 5% per hit is pretty nice. That's a strong way of doing it. Per enemy struck, too. So you can hit 2 to 3 guys with this pretty easily and gain 10 to 15% of your Diamond Armor back. While leveling, I tended to go with the melee. I favor melee usually in this game over ranged, because the range damage, you know, if you look at rank 1, this is doing 340 to 379, and at rank 1 this is doing 531 to 590. This is basically going to take 1 to 2 hits to kill a mob. This will always kill a mob at that level. So that's why I kind of go with the melee. I just like to have them dead. And you're usually using some other ability to kill things. And at early level, what's going to be pretty useful to kill things is Psychic Blast. This does a good job. It does a better job as you get higher levels. I'll get into that in a moment. And then somewhere around rank or level 4 or 6, I believe it was, you get this Sparkling Spin. And as you can see, this does a lot of damage, 577 to 742. And it's a pretty wide AoE. I was using this for the most part for a very, very long time, because you could just run into a group of mobs, hit it once, and they all died. You know, it costs 30 spirit. It's a little expensive. You can't keep it up. But, you know, for one-shotting mobs, it's great. And your next ability you get is this Lustrous Lunge. This is your standard charge to attack. Or, in most cases, what I really use it for is charge away from attack or charge through the boss, so I can get to the other side. So, like, say, Doom does his punches in the wrong area, or does his big blast. I charge through him and he blasts air instead of me. And also, after you use this for 10 seconds, you gain movement speed. This is very nice. So, you get to run faster with it. You won't actually experience it too much, and I'll get into that why in a moment. We have to get into the Hellfire headmistress's abilities. The next ability is a short duration, long cooldown buff, which basically gives you 50% Diamond Armor and a chance to deflect projectiles for 5 seconds. And it's got a 15-second cooldown. Not a big fan of Emma already, because everything cool about her has 15-second cooldowns. It's just ridiculous. In this game, 15 seconds is like 30 mobs. Imagine having to kill 30 mobs before you can use an ability again. It's disgustingly long. So this is pretty good though for a boss fight, or you're taking a big hit, you just hit it, you gain some extra diamond armor for a few seconds, and that's basically all it's going to be good for. The next ability you get is the Diamond Smash. This is my favorite just because it's definitely higher damage. It's got the same attack speed. Both of these attack really quick. 2.7 attack speed is really, really fast. And again, it gives you 5% diamond armor per enemy struck. And it restores spirit. So if you're left at a point where you needed spirit and you're doing this skill anyways, you're going to start getting spirit. And it does do a lot more damage. That's why I favor it. Another ability that you're probably going to want to use no matter, well, almost no matter what. I guess if you're going full telepathic abilities, you can neglect it because you won't be in diamond form too much. But this basically reflects physical damage coming in. So basically, any enemy who hits you while you're in diamond form takes 112 damage. And while in diamond form, you gain an extra 100. Well, it says 104% defense, but really you're gaining 4% defense. This patch has been infamous for making large numbers look so good, and it doesn't do what it says. So it's not like you're going to gain 1,000 defense out of this or something. At least I don't think. Once we put the points in, we'll check, but I don't remember getting that much armor from it. But it's enough that you're going to want to do it if you're doing anything diamond. And then we got Diamond Whirlwind. This is a fun ability. This is like Colossus' ability where he his spinning punch is there. But unlike his spinning punch, you can just hold the button down and continuously wade through mob after mob after mob and kill them. So it's much better, and it gives you a movement speed buff while you're doing it, so you move even faster. The simple fact that you can channel this as long as you have spirit is what makes it really good. And then her final ability here, you get around 26. This is Glittering Lure. It's basically a taunt, AoE taunt, so she can actually taunt everything. And everything that hits by it deals 40 less damage. Not really a lot of less damage. And it lasts 4 seconds, not really a long time. It's kind of a sad face that this is a level 26, 28 ability. It's just kind of really bad. You know, imagine Thing getting that at level 30, you'd be like, what? Moving over to Hellfire and Headmistress, we get her primary ability that everyone's probably going to do no matter what, which is Psychic Domination. This lets you charge a pet, or charm a pet, so it's very awesome. And the more points you have into it, the more damage the pet does, and the more damage it does. And this is a channeled ability, so if, say, you find something you want to charm, you have to get it down to 20% health, and then as long as this ability is active, you'll charm it. So, like, if you had this on your 1 key, you just hold down 1 button until you get the pet. And then, you know, it'll do the damage per second on it, and it'll do the mana drain. The spirit drain is nothing. I mean, 5 spirit per second. You can do that forever. And then, like I said, once it gets to 20%, you'll charm it. It'll fake die, and then so you still get loot for it. And if you have a pet already, that pet will die. And you won't get loot for it because you already got loot. And then you have the new pet. So one of the things you're going to want to do is always charm something that has haste aura. You get haste from it. You'll get attack speed from it. which is, now that I think about it, why this attack is 2.7 attack speed, because I'm getting 40% haste from my pet. Always do that. You know, when you're first starting off her, obviously you charm whatever you find. But as soon as you find a haste aura, you charm the haste aura guy, you get him as a pet, and then as you're leveling, you find a new haste aura guy, you charm him. I like the melee ones because they tend to stay close to me, and they attack a lot faster, but the machine gunners do really good amounts of damage also, because they're a cone effect. And then you got Rewards of Loyalty. This is a passive buff for your pet. It increases their maximum health, their health regeneration per second, and their movement speed. So with a haste pet, they're going to move even faster, but they're going to regen some health, and you know, that's pretty good. The next ability you get is this Mental Overload. And basically what this does is blows up the pet, and it'll do double damage if the pet's at full health. And it has every 10% of the pet's health, it'll do 10% extra damage. I never use this. I see no reason why blowing up your pet, unless you're going to be just purely doing that as a build choice to blow it up. You can only do it once every minute, so you can't even really make it a build choice. In all honesty, it's just an absolutely horrible ability. She's been put through with so many bad abilities. I can't believe, you know, it even hit live like this. You know, people on test are just terrible, and they're listening. And, you know, I think that's a mistake on Gazillion, to listen to test server people's feedback on whether or not a character is good. Because right now, a minute cooldown and just blowing up a pet for 2 to 3k damage, that's just ridiculous. Next ability you get is this Frenzied Confusion. This is where we start getting into Scarlet Witch's abilities. Same thing, has a chance to confuse enemies within an area, and it increases their damage done, and they'll attack each other. It's a little bit better than hers because there isn't a chance. It actually just works, but it only lasts 4 seconds, so it's not really that long. Never really used it. I guess it would be a good oh no button. That's about all I can see for it. Then we got this Inspire Minion button here. If you're going to go pet route and you really want to maximize pet, this could be something you go for. It's okay. Your pet's damage is never going to be phenomenal. It's never going to do your kind of damage. It's never even going to do your dots kind of damage. It's more useful as a buff to you than anything. And this will regenerate a lot of health and actually increase some extra mental damage going on. It lasts 12 seconds, and its cooldown is 30 seconds. Another terrible skill. 30 seconds in this game is like a map almost. It's just terribly long for such a low power ability. I mean, this is literally not even the DPS it lists to you. It's just terrible. Another ability you get is a Sudden Dread. A lot of people are liking it. I find it horrible yet again because it's a 15-second cooldown. I think it's better oh no button than Frenzied Confusion because it does make things cower for 5 seconds or longer if you put points into it. But once every 15 seconds is kind of... it's just an oh no button. That's all it is good for. It's not going to... actually, even with points in it, sometimes it doesn't kill regular trash mobs. It's just kind of terrible. It should do much more damage for a 15-second cooldown. Another ability that everybody loves, but I don't know. I found it terrible again. 15-second cooldown. So in that time, on average, in 15 seconds, I can kill 30 mobs, 20 to 30 mobs pretty easy. You should be able to kill 2 mobs a second. So you gotta wait 30 kills again. What this does is it's a wide AoE around you, and it draws enemies close to you. So if you're going Telepath, you may not want to be doing this. and then it blows up for damage. And it has a max channel time. And the reason why that's important is because enemies have to get to you, because the blow-up range is much smaller than the taunt range. So it taunts enemies to you, they move towards you rather slowly, and then it blows up for 3,000 to 4,500 damage. Which, if you're getting blues on you, ain't going to do nothing to them. And if you got yellows, they're going to laugh at you. And but it does do minus 80% damage dealt while you're channeling it. So it's interesting in that form, I guess. I really didn't like it. I don't like anything I have to wait 15 seconds to use again, and then I have to channel it for 1 to 2 seconds to get it to work. It just doesn't work for me. It's not my play style. If that excites you, then you're going to love it. Alright, moving over to Omega Telepath. You'll start off with this side bolt. This will kill stuff pretty easily. 1 to 2 hits will probably do it. You also start off with Psychic Blast. It'll probably take a few seconds to kill something. But it's a pretty big AoE cone. You'll probably use this more than Cybolt to kill stuff until you get Sparkling Spin, and then you get your choice of what you want to do. You can either use Psychic Blast to burn them down, or you can one-shot them with Sparkling Spin. Both ways will work quite well. Telepathic Vortex, probably one of the better abilities in the Telepath skill range here. It does a lot of mental damage, and it has a pretty good duration. Another ability you get if you're going full psychic, you might want to max this out, because this increases your damage rating, just like on Jean Grey, for your mental powers. And it gives you a radar, so that's very nice. And if you're going full range, you're probably going to go with Astral Bolt. This one hits pretty hard. Attack's pretty good yet again. Remember, I'm at a 40% haste because of my minion. At least until they nerf that. I'm sure that'll get nerfed sooner or later, and then minions will be almost useless. But this will do a lot of damage and should 1 to 2 shot most things. Mind Cloud, this is awesome. This gets rid of negative effects, makes you invisible, and protects you from projectiles. So it gets rid of anything that's affecting you, that's snaring you, dots, anything like that. Gets them off you, makes you invisible so you can't be attacked. It's probably the best oh no button out there to get you out of situations. And, just because it makes you invisible. The invisibility will drop if you attack. Psychic Drain. This ability looks really cool because you hold down the hotkey and it just does basically 2,400 damage a second. But it's only a single target and you can't move. And I don't know if you've had any chance to use Scarlet Witch, but you'll find not being able to move while doing an ability sucks. If this was AoE, it would probably be phenomenal. Or close to phenomenal anyways for trash clearing. But it's not. It's single target. It's not even really great on bosses. I just didn't like it. You get more damage off on these punches than you will on that Psychic Drain. And finally, you get this ability, Mental Cloaking. It shields yourselves and your allies, giving you strength and hiding them from enemy detection. So it's kind of like a stealth mode. If you attack, though, you lose the stealth. And it gives you a lot of extra damage. Again, 15-second cooldown. Never bothered with it. Anything on here for 15-second cooldowns, I tried it out to see if they were any good. And the thing that rang out best was Sudden Dread. Everything else is terrible. That's why I'm saying this is just a completely poorly done character. All her great stuff is right up in the front. And like all these super abilities that usually, you get the character to 30 or 26 or so, and you get something that's phenomenal. I mean, it's Diamond Whirlwind at 22, I think it was. But, all these kneel before me's, mental cloaking, drain psyche, glittering lure, a taunt is your level 28 ability. Just very, very strange build. So that leaves you with, oh, Grand Nightmare. This is actually phenomenal. This is a really good ability. That mental damage, 3 to 4k per hit. You summon 4 mobs that attack different enemies, and each mob hits that hard, so it's really good. And it lasts a great while, 35 seconds. I mean, so this is the one skill they did right for her ultimate ability. Very good ability. You'll love that. Your options are basically going ranged or melee, or some kind of hybrid. And I don't see a hybrid working all too well, but if you were to go hybrid, you'd probably go with Psychic Blast over Astral Bolt, just because of its huge wide AoE, and it does do a lot of damage as it scales up. And I don't even know how you'd really work a hybrid in, but you could work in the punch with maybe the lunge, because that will put you in diamond formed. But as soon as you hit any kind of other ability, it takes you out of diamond form. So there's some interesting little mechanic plays that we will be making on our build, or my build anyways, the Whirling Ice. And that's obviously going to be based on Diamond Whirlwind. So for my build, because we're going to be in Diamond form, you're going to want to max out Flawless Jewel. That's going to give you an extra 32% basically defense bonus, so that's awesome. And of course, we're going to be basing it on Diamond Whirlwind, so we got to max out Diamond Whirlwind. That's going to hit for 2,000 damage a second, and it hits pretty wide, especially with the Dr. Octopus Metal. Because we're going AoE, and AoE is king in this patch, we are going to go with Dr. Octopus's Metal. For bosses, though, we're not going to be able to Whirlwind to kill them. We're going to kill them with this Diamond Smash. With the little haste buff that we're getting, this Diamond Smash hits like a truck. Very good. We are going to maximize Psychic Domination because we're going to have the pet, and we're going to want to maximize the pet's damage bonus. And then we're going to maximize the rewards of loyalty, so the pet will hang around a very long time and get a lot of health coming in. And then we're going to maximize, finally, Telepathic Vortex. This is for boss kills as well, or yellows, or blues. It's some extra damage going on. The duration lasts long enough that, you know, with the points in there, it's definitely worth doing. We are going to put a point in Psychic Awareness because we are using Telepathic Vortex, which is mental damage. It's our only mental damage ability besides when we charm with Psychic Domination. However, we want the actual radar so we can see mobs on the screen. And we're going to do Mind Cloud so we can break free of anything that's freezing us. Very handy to use. We will put a point in Diamond Heart just so we can get that extra diamond armor when things hit the fan. And we're going to put a point in Lustrous Lunge so we have the ability to move around the screen pretty quickly. This is optional, which is Inspire Minion. It could be worth a point to you. It's not worth a point to me. But if you're getting into a boss fight, you could pop it in for 12 seconds. You know, it'll do a little extra damage. But that's the only questionable one-pointer out there for me. And that's the build. So I'm just going to click Confirm. And I can't put Diamond Whirlwind, unfortunately, on my right mouse button, so I have it on my 6 button. It's going to be the one I use the most. And Diamond Heart's an uh-oh button. Mind Cloud is an uh-oh button. And do I have any other buttons I need? No. You could put a point in Mental Cloaking and try that out for you to see how that works. Gives you some extra damage. It's not a 15-second cooldown for a 3-second buff. I mean, it's just not very long. And that's basically it. So actually I'm going to move this over like that. And that would be just like my other abilities. And now, as you can see, I've only got 5,250 in armor. Oh, 2248. So it looks like that does double. That's even better. I gotta put this on charge. So my first thought of Flawless Jewel is wrong. It's actually adding 132% extra defense. So that's pretty awesome. And that's putting you at the standard tank range of between 50 and 60% damage reduction, which is awesome. So that's even stronger than I thought. And yeah, that's definitely, if you're going to do anything in the diamond side, you got to go with this Flawless Jewel. That's just a massive amount of defense. It's probably only 20% damage reduction, but actually we can find out in a second. Yeah, it's not even 20% damage reduction, but still it's going to be massive for the purposes of being hit. And how this is going to work is you can, oops, I got to change that over. You're going to be punching. As you can see with that haste, that's a lot of damage. About 3,000 damage a second with that haste. Almost 4,000. That's going to be an artifact. I'll go over the artifacts in a second. But you're going to be doing that to bosses. Oh, that's what I forgot. It's like, there we go. So you just basically have a boss. You drop the vortex. And you're doing some extra damage. Even though you drop it, because you're attacking so fast, you've barely dropped your armor, so you're all set. When you got trash packs, you're just going to run around and kill them like this. That's what it is. If you were ranged, you would be trash pack killing with Psychic Blast, and probably boss killing with Astra Bolts, or Drain Psyche. And that's all there is to it. Charm a haste mob, like I said, so you get that run speed, you get that attack speed. That's awesome. For the build, I'm actually finding this Tome of Zered Na a very handy thing. It's only a 5% chance to set the ground ablaze, but it hits for 2,700 damage a second, and usually you're fighting a boss long enough for that to go off. And, you know, 2,700 damage, that's 1,300 per twice. That's a 1,300 dot, basically. 1,300 point dot. And it goes off more than you realize. And that 1% chance to summon a Guardian happens a lot more than it seems, too. So it's just very odd that it happens only 1%. I'm using, obviously, the Dr. Octopus's medallion. The higher the radius, the better. That's obviously the priority always, is getting that maximum radius for an AoE build. I'm doing the Beta Particle Mini Reactor just for the plus 101 Spirit. The more Spirit you have, the better off you are, the longer you can maintain your channels. In the costume, I've gone for mostly all crit. I got one that's plus damage, but that's okay. Crit pays off pretty good. Even at 60 crit, that's only 5.4% chance to crit, so that's not bad at all. On the glove, the best thing you can get is spirit per kill. Just like most other character classes that are spirit burners, you want spirit per kill. And if you can get health per kill on there as well, it's awesome. And then obviously pluses to any of the skills that you're using would be beneficial as well. On gear, I go for health regen and plus health, plus defense, plus spirit. And then grants any of those one-pointers. You know, if you can get Psychic Awareness at grants 8, Mind Cloud at grants 8, Diamond Heart at grants 8. You know, all those would be great at grants 8. And again here, we got health regen, defense, minus spirit cost is nice. Obviously I'm going for the drop rarity boost here. And I got special item find here, but there's plus health. That's really the more important thing than 8% special item find. There's some extra health. Just like with all the other tank classes, your ability to regenerate health, and the bigger the health pool you have, the better off you are. You could change the costume over to all plus health. That would help you out. I just didn't have a costume before the patch, so the plus health is kind of lower. And that's it. That's Emma. All her high-end abilities, except for her ultimate, are kind of poor, and her ultimate's awesome. And that Diamond Whirlwind's pretty awesome too. And that's my build, Whirling Ice. So, I hope this helps you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later.